What does your spin class and your long-term investing mindset have to do with each other? That's just one of the recent videos from Rob Edwards, and he is our guest today on the Real Finfluencers. Wait. Before we dive into the conversation with today's guest, welcome to the Real Finfluencers, a podcast born from our original video series spotlighting financial professionals who are using video to grow their business and their influence. Here's something you should know. Most of these guests aren't Idea Decanter clients. They've built their digital presence from the ground up, and they're here to share exactly how they did it. I'm your host, Laura Garfield, co-founder of Idea Decanter, and my goal is simple: help you discover strategies you can actually use. Steal what works, get inspired, and find your own unique brand of finfluence. Now let's get into it. Rob, thanks so much for joining me.
Of course, happy to do it, and look forward to chatting with you, Laura.
Well, I have to tell you, when Jackie Wilkie and Nikki Clark are both saying this guy is doing some great content, I'm watching. And I've looked at your stuff, and I gotta say, I agree. Any secret to where you are coming up with the ideas for your videos on LinkedIn?
Yeah, a lot of them just come from things that I enjoy talking about. I think if you're going to get on camera and look natural, which it's not natural for me, you have to talk about things that you're excited about, talk about things that you're passionate about. So a lot of times I'm sort of writing or recording for me, for things that I'm interested in. And hopefully that resonates with other people too.
So you said writing and recording. Give me a little insight into the preparation that goes into recording one of the videos that you share on LinkedIn.
Yeah, sure. So my content creation is really sort of spur of the moment type stuff. It could be that I'm at home doing chores, or I'm outside walking the dog, or I'm at the gym, and all of a sudden I see something in the world, I think of something, and then it's like, boom, that's a content idea. And in that moment, I have to write it down immediately. Otherwise, I'm likely to totally forget about it. What I can't do is sit down and say, okay, now I'm going to write content. So for me, it's fairly organic. I go through periods where I have a lot of dry spells, if you will, and then I go through periods where I have ideas that are abundant. So I don't know when those periods start and stop. And so I try and capitalize the periods of creativity and originality as much as I can, but I have to write it down so I don't lose the idea.
I think the Notes app on my phone is full of those creative ideas. You've got to capture them exactly when they hit. And I don't know where this one came from, but we've heard so many financial advisors talking about the sandwich generation. I've never seen one of them with their face down there by the sandwich. It definitely stops the scroll. Tell me how you produce a video like this. You've got the animated captions, you've got the important disclosure information on the end. What are the tools you're using to make this happen?
Yeah, so it's a pretty DIY approach, which surprises some people. I've got a whole library of recording equipment and audio equipment that I've tried out, different things that have worked, that haven't worked, but I've got it down to sort of a simple. I record on an iPhone. I use a wireless mic. I try and record when there's good natural lighting. And then lastly, I got to be kind of in the mood to do it. I'm not always in the mood to do it. So, I try to have some fun with it. The sandwich idea is something that I think, well, if I was scrolling, what would get me to stop? And so I think of those ideas, and then if I'm brave enough to do them, then I will execute them, or at least try to. I've gotten more comfortable as I've recorded more videos, and I think with that comfort you tend to be willing to take a few more risks, even if you know that you might look stupid on the other end.
You answered a survey for me about your secrets to video marketing success as being clear on your message. And hitting record? I have a feeling hitting record came from some personal experience.
Yeah, I'm the type of person who is a perfectionist by nature. It has to be like perfect before I start. And when it comes to content, that's a pretty bad mindset to have. Um, just like anything, when you start, your first iterations are not going to be very good. Like, I'm embarrassed to go back and look at some of the original videos. But you have to go through those sort of those growing pains, if you will. I kind of liken content to sort of to working out. If you haven't bench press, or if you haven't done a squat in in 10 years, then those first reps are going to be a little awkward. But as you sort of develop the muscle, you develop the rhythm and the feel, then it becomes more natural. You can get faster, you can put more weight on. And so I think with just hitting record, it just gets you over the hump. It's never going to feel right. You just have to do it. You're going to make mistakes, but you'll learn, and then you'll get better as you get more and more reps under your belt. So that's where I get just go, just hit record, just do it.
Let's talk about the C word, compliance.
Okay.
You have found a way to persevere with content creation in a compliance regulated space. What advice would you give advisors who say, I can't do this, I can't do what he's doing because my compliance won't let me?
I would say that you have to think outside the box. I have a little sign that my one of my teammates gave me. It says, "Think outside the box," and you have to be willing to sort of create your own path, if you will. If you look to your compliance officer for advice, or you look to sort of the traditional paths for marketing, for advice, or for techniques, then you're probably going to end up in sort of the same box that everybody else is in. So you have to think outside the box. You have to challenge the norm. You want to be compliant, but you also want to find a way to stand out. And sometimes those things don't go hand in hand. There's a lot of times where I do end up frustrated. I feel like I've reached a dead end. But in those points, you have to kind of rechannel that energy into something positive for yourself. And hopefully that's a really creative moment where you can come out with something that was even better than you had originally started with. So try and find a way to be creative. And if you get stuck along the way, just know that you're not the only one that's been there. I've been there too. And there is a way forward. It just might not be obvious in the moment.
How about results? Would you say your video marketing efforts have resulted in moving the needle for your business?
Yeah. So nobody calls us and says, "Hey, that was the most amazing sandwich video I've ever seen. Can you help me? Can you take a look at all of my, lifetime savings and investments?" Nobody says that. So I really believe that there is not a silver bullet out there in terms of marketing. There's things that work well, but I don't think there's a silver bullet. If there was, everyone would know about it and everyone would do it. So I really believe marketing is a multi-channel approach. So in the digital sphere, it's going to be videos, it's going to be written posts or content, newsletters. Your website is probably going to be a great first impression for people. And then you can start to mix in things like in-person events or print media. But I really think that marketing in 2024 and beyond is really a multi-channel approach. And you want to be there when the consumer is ready to take action on their side. They're not lying awake every day thinking about the financial problems that they have and, oh my God, who's going to solve them? But when they do get to that point, you want to be sort of the one or two names that pop into their head as, oh, that person might be able to help me out with this.
Well, I like what you're doing with video. It is relatable. It is approachable. And remember, if Bob can do it, you can do it too. If you want to build authority and grow your practice with video, but need some help, that's what we do at Idea Decanter. Oh, one more thing. If you're not already part of Idea Decanter's Real Finfluencer community, now is your chance to join us. Head to ideadecanter.com/join, and you'll be in. You'll get early access to advisor video tips, invites to exclusive events, and behind-the-scenes insights that you won't find on Google or even on ChatGPT. Whether you're just video curious or already knee-deep in content creation, this is the place to grow your influence with video. Don't miss out. And thanks so much for listening to The Real Finfluencers.